Alright, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Gamer Show live stream. I'm your host, Fred Y. Alright, I said I wasn't going to stream today, but again today, but I just came up with another idea. I'm always thinking of stuff, you know what I mean? Forgive me for that. But earlier today I streamed, and I'm not going to go over it again. You just got to watch the rebroadcast of it. The O.J. Simpson parole board, and I was watching it as I was streaming, and I learned at the same time that you all learned that he got paroled. So OJ is now a free man come September, but we already talked about that. Today, today I'm talking about who is your role model. Alright, if you look on the screen, you'll see two guys that's my role models, and weren't always my role models. Just recently, in the last past, I would say, year or so, they have been my two biggest role models, and I hope that this video somehow gets to them, and I hope that they would get back in contact with me. Okay, the two guys that are my role models are D.L. Hughley and Roland Martin. So who's your role model? If you're entering in the chat, man, put it in the comments, man. Let me know who your role model is. I'm gonna tell you why these two guys are my role models, and they never were before until I got into adulthood. Never really did have somebody in the entertainment industry that I looked up to and said, you know, I want to be like that person. Never did. So, you know, I had, of course, you know, you have family members that your role model, and you can just pick, you know, who's your role model from your parents to cousins or whoever it is. But these two guys, throughout all the shit that, I'm sorry, this is going to be explicit, so take caution. Through all the shit that's happened throughout the years, these two guys have been outspoken more than anybody else. You have people that other people look up to, like, you know, Lil Wayne and Beyonce and Jay-Z and all these other people. Now I know I may get a lot of flack for this, but I'm not part of the Beehive. You know, although I do like a couple of her songs, I'm not like Beyonce crazy. I don't care about what the babies look like, and I don't care what time the babies was born, and I don't care nothing about that shit, man. You know, Jay-Z, he's an excellent rapper. What's up, Don? Dom or Doom. Doom. What's up with you? But you know, I'm not a fan of those. But my role models are, like I said, D.L. Hughley and Roland Martin. These cats have been outspoken on a lot of the killings. They have been outspoken on just a lot of the wrongdoing that they see. D.L. Hughley, he and Roland Martin has been the front runners of a lot of stuff that's been happening with the Grand Wizard, that has the highest seat in the country. And you all know who I'm talking about. I'm purposely disrespecting Donald Trump by calling him the Grand Wizard, and hopefully this gets back to Donald Trump too, because, you know, I don't like him, and, you know, I can clearly say fuck Donald Trump. That's how I feel. So hopefully he tweets something out to me and make me famous. So that's neither here nor there. But I need to get back to the point at hand. These guys has no filter. If you don't know who Roland Martin is, Google him. Check him out. He does live streams. He does stuff on TV One. He calls people out. No filter. D.L. Hughley. Although he's not the funniest comedian in the world, he has been the front runner, him and Roland Martin, of wrongdoings of the government and our police force. No filter. He's not afraid to speak his mind. He even commented on some of the Steve Harvey stuff. And I think Steve Harvey is a jackass. I think he's the number one coon of America. I don't fuck with Steve Harvey at all. I don't fuck with the... Every time I'm in the house and Family Feud come on, I hurry up and turn from that shit because I don't fuck with them. I don't want to watch none of this shit. The only reason why I stay tuned to Channel 4 is that's because... What's up, Anton? The only reason why I stay tuned to Channel 4 is I was watching the O.J. Simpson parole hearing. That was it. But these guys are outspoken. Now, let's talk about some of the stuff that they have mentioned, or some of the stuff that has happened in the news that a lot of people just brushed under the rug. And I mentioned this yesterday when I did a video and I said, you get mad at the wrong thing. Let's talk about Jena 6. If you don't know what Jena 6 is, it's 6 guys that was accused of doing something, I think to a white girl, or it was something that had to do with some shit like that. But they were punished more than the average. What's up, Ken? They were punished more than the average person that would have done the same thing wouldn't have. And there was a big march. You know, Al Sharpton and his perm came down there. Yeah, Salt and Pepper that came down there. Had a lot of celebrities that came down there, but nobody is talking about it. You know, they talked about it for like a hot minute, and when the exposure of that case died down a little bit, then everybody just brushed away from it. You heard no more about it. Al Sharpton was the first one. Well, Al Sharpton and his perm was the first one to get on board to start talking about it. But these cats, they just left the shit alone. Ain't nobody talk about Jena 6 no more. It's been a couple of years now, and I don't even know, because I didn't follow it. I don't even know if these boys are still locked up or they're out. But they were just so instrumental on talking about these guys, getting them free, doing all this other shit, and then it just died down. Roland Martin and D.L. Hughley, they speak upon whatever issue it is. They don't let it die. They may not talk about it for a while, but they will bring it back up. They will always bring shit back up. This is what some of these celebrities don't do. And it's a fucking shame that a lot of people support these celebrities and they don't do shit for your community. They don't do shit for the fans that help them get to where they are. Now, recently, you know, Kendrick Lamar, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I don't fuck with Kendrick Lamar because I don't really listen to too much hip hop, because it's so watered down. The Young Yachty bullshit and the mumble rap, and that just deterred me away from listening to all that shit, man. But even though I'm not a fan of Kendrick Lamar, to me, in my book, he's a stand-up fucking guy. This guy has a fan that was paralyzed, and he found out through the grapevine that she was going through some problems where her van broke down. So that's how she got around. She paralyzed from, I think, the neck down or the waist down, and the van that her parents used to transport her from place to place broke down. Kendrick Lamar took it upon himself and brought this young lady a vehicle. Nice vehicle. Better than the one that she had. Now I can respect him for that. And people gave him flack about him buying his sister. It wasn't a real fancy, expensive car. It was just a car. You know what I'm saying? And you got to look at it like, this guy, that's the one that's making the money. You know what I'm saying? He's out there doing the tours and stuff like that. Even though that's his family, just be appreciative that he got you a new car. Just because it wasn't a Benz or a Ferrari and all this other shit. That to me lets me know that man thinks a lot more. He thinks a lot more about tomorrow than today. You know what I'm saying? So, Kendrick Lamar, if I'm not a fan of yours, I don't listen to your music or anything like that, but from that point, when I heard that, I listen to some, when it comes on the radio, whenever they play Kendrick Lamar, and I'm listening to a station that plays that bullshit music, I do listen, to it. Or if I'm at a club or some shit like that, and, I have no other choice but to listen to it. So, to me, he's a stand-up fucking guy. He just gained a fan, that's what makes me a fan of his. Not because his lyrical talent. It's because of what he does. He gave the fuck back. Now let's talk about Kanye West. Kanye West, although he did a good thing, he gave somebody a pair of Yeezys. A guy that the doctor said that he would never be able to walk again. He actually gave this guy some white Yeezys. Okay. Alright, that's okay. You know what I'm saying? I'm still not a fan of Kanye West. But for him to reach out to that fan and at least do that was pretty good on his part. And I applaud that guy for that. Even though I don't agree with none of the shit half the shit. What's up, Eric? With none of the shit. Hey, Eric, you still, I'll re-put that link up so you can get this adapter. I haven't forgotten about you. You know what I'm saying? I'll put that link back up. But I noticed that you haven't went to it. But, I forgot how much it's going to cost to ship to you. But yeah. You're gonna have to bear that. So I'll put that link back up after I'm done with this stream. So that's that. You know what I'm saying? So Kanye West, I'm not a big fan, but I appreciate he did that for somebody. But getting back to Roland Martin and D.L. Hughley, these guys are stand-up guys. And I always said that when I was in my rap career, if I would have got famous off of doing that, I think that by now, with all the shit that was going on, I think that D.L. Hughley and I would be friends. And I think Roland Martin and I would be friends. At this point in my life, in my career, if I would have took off in the music industry, I would have been. Alright, I'll do that after this. We would have been friends because I'm unfiltered, they're unfiltered. So I can say anything. I don't have a filter on me at all. Whenever something's bothering me, or if I have to speak out about something, I will. I'm the type of dude that in the workplace, if some shit is going on, I'll be the first one to speak upon it. I've never been afraid to get my point across. I've never been afraid to say what I have to say. I've never been afraid to speak to the so-called boss, and I talk to him just like a regular person. Cause the way I am is, I don't care if you're my boss, if you're the CEO, whatever. That don't mean shit to me. If I come to you, I'm gonna talk to you like a man, and when you talk to me with some respect. I don't care if you are the owner of the company. If you disrespect me, then we gonna have a problem. I've been that way ever since I was a kid. When I was working at McDonald's and shit, I gained my respect, especially when I was working at McDonald's, for being unfiltered. Now a lot of people was like, "Well, why you say that to him?" It's like, are y'all scared of these motherfuckers? Or like, he's another guy. You know what I'm saying? So if you disrespect me, it's no good. But these two guys are my role models. There are plenty instances that Roland Martin has called a lot of people out. He have called he called Snoop Dogg out one time off of Snoop Dogg saying something about roots. He's called out Wendy Williams. He's called out Lil Wayne, I think. D.L. Hughley has called out the president. I'm sorry, not the president, but he has called out the Grand Wizard. Also, Roland Martin has called out the Grand Wizard for the shit that he does. So, and that's another conversation altogether, with the bullshit about how this racist dude has the highest position and he keeps fucking up, and it's like nobody sees it. They see it, but they have blinders on. They kind of look away, but that's either here or there. But what's up, Matt? My two role models, right there, D.L. Hughley, Roland Martin. Now, if anybody's watching this and they know these guys, know how to get in contact with them personally, send them a shout out and say, hey man, this crazy ass guy named Fred White does a gaming show, man. He said that you are his role model. Won't you reach back out to him? I don't know if this shit would ever happen. I don't know, but yeah, these two guys, they just recently became my role models, because everybody puts a filter on shit. Everybody wants to be politically correct, and they don't want to say anything that's going to offend anybody. Everybody is just so you offend anybody with one word being said, and fuck that. I'm on this shit where if I offend you, get the fuck over it, because I've been offended mostly of my life, and I gotta deal with it. So if you catch some shit, and like if I offend you, I'm not gonna apologize, because I don't do it purposely. Now, if I'm going to offend somebody, I'll say that I'll offend somebody. So like Donald Trump, I say I'm going to disrespect Donald Trump. I say fuck Donald Trump. I give Donald Trump, what's up, Angel? I give Donald Trump a middle finger. So I'm saying fuck Donald Trump. That's intentionally. But I may say some shit that may offend people, but get the fuck over it. You know what I'm saying? It's not that I did it maliciously. It's just that that's the fucking way that I feel. But these two guys, D.L. Hughley, hey, what's up? What's up, lady? Long time no see or hear from. But these two guys should be role models for the black community. These two guys should have been who the Grand Wizard should have reached out to. He shouldn't have reached out to Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey is a fucking coon. Steve Harvey is a yes man. Steve Harvey is a adulterer. Steve Harvey is an asshole. And people support him. And I don't want to get on Steve Harvey, but I just want to make this fucking comment since there are a couple of people in the chat. When you write books and you portray that you know the solutions to marital fixes, and you want to promote how to keep your marriage together and all this other shit, make sure that you have all your ducks in a row. You cheated with that whore. And I'm going to call a bitch a whore because that's what it is. She's a whore. She dipped into your marriage. She knew that you was married, so you married the whore that you was cheating with. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to write a book, or you're going to do a movie about how to think like a man. You got to be fucking kidding me. You got to be kidding me. You're an adulteress. You know what I'm saying? You should have wrote a book called How to Cheat Like a Man. I would have respected you more. Then you're dragging your wife in the mud where she can't make a situation where she can live. You know what I'm saying? She helped you get to where the fuck you at. She helped you get to that Family Feud. She helped you get to that Kings of Comedy. And for all of that shit that she did for you, this is the thanks that you give her. Plus the bullshit about the radio show when you canceled all your shit. And what's up D? When you canceled all of your you just left these dudes behind. Asshole, man, asshole. Okay. But yeah, I'm just discussing role models, right? So those are my two. Those are my two, man. And I wish that something would happen where this video gets out to them and they reach out to me and say, hey, well, thanks or whatever. But if they don't, you know, it's what it is. But these two guys are my fucking role models, man. D.L. Hughley, Roland Martin. Yo, man, I've never been. This is the way that it goes, right? When I was younger, I could say that I really didn't have a situation where, like I say, I didn't have a situation where I could call somebody a role model. There's shit that happened in my life that I'm not going to put on social media and shit. That's for another fucking show. But throughout my life, my thinking process was a lot different than what it is right now. When you come up of age and you reflect on all the shit that you went through, and you remember all the shit that your parents said, well, you're not going to get it now, you'll get it later on down in life. That shit is so fucking true. It is so true, man. And my thought process has changed so much as an adolescent to a father. It has fucking changed, man. The way that I used to think years ago, I don't think now. The way that I thought about police, I don't think now. You know what I'm saying? And it's a funny story how I turned my perception of police officers around. And it's a pretty long story, and I don't know if I want to go into it, or I don't know if people will want to listen to it. But my perception of police officers has changed. What's up, Keith? My perception of police officers has changed tremendously, and Keith, I'm just talking about role models today. And you know what? Keith is a old friend of mine. We used to live around like the same neighborhood, went to Largo together. And if you look at his last name is Young. My last name is Young. And to this day, I still think that we are related somehow. I don't know. I don't know, but I think that we are related somehow because there was a girl that lived in the same neighborhood, Forest Park, that I stayed in, and come to find out that she was related to me. So small fucking world. But like I said, my perception of police, and I should do a separate video for that because that's not the topic here today. But it has changed. And I say all that to say that I view life differently than I do now. From like back even a couple of years ago. View situations a lot differently than what I view shit now. Now me, I'm not no saint. I curse like a sailor. I drink. You know, I'm not no fucking person that in the alley with a 40 and shit and no, drunk all the time. My tolerance level for alcohol is so fucking low. It's so fucking low that, you know, those cans of blue motorcycles that they sell inside the store, I get lit off of that. I would get lit off of that one fucking can. My tolerance for alcohol is super, super fucking low. And I can smell alcohol and I'd be drunk. But back in the day, I could go to Atlantic City from Trump Towers to Bally's, order a Singapore Sling full in each casino, and by the time I worked my way back to the bus, I was lit. Can't do that shit now. If a Singapore Sling is made right, I can probably do like maybe six of them if they're made right, and I'll be done. If you don't know what a Singapore Sling is, it's a drink. It tastes just like Kool-Aid, and those are the drinks that's the most potent drinks, man. Them sweet fucking drinks knock me out. But again, I say all that to say that my past thoughts are different now. I look at life differently. I look at people differently, and I have a different way of thinking. And that's what it is, man. But your role model shouldn't be people that don't do shit for you. And I'm not talking about a person that comes out their pocket and pay your bills or get your nails done or buy your Xbox games and shit like that. That shouldn't be your role model. That should not be your role model. A role model should be somebody that does something for other people without expecting anything in return. Roland Martin don't ask for nothing in return. D.L. Hughley doesn't ask for anything in return. He doesn't portray, these two guys don't portray like they're better than what they are. Everybody has their situations. Everybody has, problems, and they go through shit. But these two men, they put their reputation and their names on the line because they could just go with the flow or just not say anything at all. But these guys are boisterous when it comes to infractions, wrongdoings of anything that they see. They are the two main people in the black community that come out there and say some stuff. You know what I'm saying? And you would think like, wow, why are they risking their necks for, and they don't even know these guys. It's because right is right and wrong is wrong. Me, I'm the type of person that will fight a battle for other people if I see some injustice done. If I see some wrongdoing, I'm the first one to comment on it. I'm that guy at work that can't keep his mouth shut. I'm the guy at work that says that everybody talks about and says, "Well, man, he just off the chain." I'm the guy that people talk behind their back and smile in my face. That's what type of guy I am. I don't give, like I said, I don't give a damn about whatever employer that I'm working for. I don't care if you are the owner. I don't care if you are the manager. Any of that company. My motto is: you respect me, I respect you. If you don't respect me, then we got a fucking problem. And if it goes beyond that, then we can both clock. Well, I don't do that shit where, okay, let's clock out. And I'm trying to get away from that process. You know what I'm saying? Like, we can handle our business right here and there. But I think I left that alone a little bit, because there's been instances that I've had problems with fellow employees. And instead of working throughout the day, because when I'm frustrated, my thought process and my creativity goes out the window. And doing this thing with the gaming show and these other shows that I'm trying to get uploaded, and a couple of other projects that I'm trying to do, I need to be in a zen place. You know, I need to have a clear mind to come up with some of the stuff that I do. So recently I've been like, take a nigga aside, like, look, boom, cause me and you gotta talk. Look, XYZ, bam, 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 and let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And be done with it. Just recently, 4th of July, when I came back from Captain George's, I was at King's Dominion watching the fireworks, right? And this is what happened. And I'm gonna tell you, I was on my grown man shit, because this could have went downhill. And this is exactly what happened. This is not fabricated, none of that shit. This is what happened. I pulled up into where the Burger King is. There is a kind of like a parking lot, or a lot right there where everybody was parked at so they can watch the fireworks. Now, when I pulled into that lot, I wasn't paying attention, and there was a gentleman and his daughter walking across. So I kept going, because it was my fault. I was distracted, and the guy was like, "You don't see me fucking walking? You don't see me fucking walking?" Okay, there's a problem there. First of all, you're not going to curse at me. You're not going to do that. So what I did was, I kindly parked the fucking car. I got out, and I searched for this dude. Found him. I guess he was with his old lady. And I said, "Were you the nigga that just cursed at me?" But he wasn't a black dude. He was a white guy. So I'm like, and I was already amped up. So I was like, "You the nigga that cursed at me?" He was like, yeah, I was walking across the street and I had my daughter. I said, "You know what? We could have handled that situation any other way. Like, I was in the wrong. So I could have came over here and said, you know, my bag or whatever. But when you cursed at me, you took it to a whole nother fucking level. You took it to a whole nother level. What's up, Lloyd?" So then the dude was like, his lady kept chiming in on the situation. And I said to the dude, I said, "Look, get your lady, because me and you were talking. She had nothing to do with this. She was off somewhere else. Get your fucking lady." And then after that, he had his words, I had mine. And what I said was, I said, "Dude, you know what I'm saying? It was my bag. All right." I said, "We could handle this like some other shit, or we can be on some grown man shit. But I'm not coming to you on some other shit. I'm coming to you on some grown man shit." So it was my bag. And I'm telling them, "Look, just for the future, don't curse at somebody, because you don't know how I am. You don't know how that person in the car is. I could have had a gun and I could have murked you and whoever else that was right there." So after that, I shook his hand, and that was the end of it. He shook my hand. Well, we both shook hands, and we left it as men, black and white. I'm black, he was white. We left that shit as men. And like I said, I was in the fucking wrong, because I wasn't paying attention to where I was going. So that was me on my grown man shit. Now, if that would have been my thought process, and plus that day was a very fucked up day. That day I was going through some drama at home, and that crossed over to going in the car, going out to Williamsburg, and I was just turned up that whole fucking day. So I was already heated. If that would have been me a couple of years ago, when I had already had some shit going on, it would have went down. I would have fucked that dude up. Like, seriously, you know what I mean? Because I know how my temper is. And let me put this out there. I'm not the biggest dog in the yard, but I'm no bitch. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I carry things. Like, I'm no sucker for nobody. You know what I'm saying? But I don't intentionally disrespect anybody. If you disrespect me, then we got a problem. If we can't solve it like men, then we're going to solve it another way. But I'm going to give you that man option first. I'm going to give it to you like, look, all right, whatever, boom, boom, boom. If a person chooses to do not to do that, then it's going to go off on some other shit. Now, I still have that mentality, but I put that mentality at the last option, because anybody, when you're backed up in a corner and you have no way out, you got to fight your way out of a situation. That's just life. That's just fucking life. But I'll be on my grown man shit. You know what I'm saying? It's a process every day. You know what I mean? Like, it's really a big process, and it's a really big change. And I know when I'm saying Roland Martin and D.L. Hughley are my role models, you know, that's somebody that I strive to be once I get into the game where my voice where my voice reach out to millions and millions of people. Doing this show, the Gamer Show, Mike and I voice have reached across the United States, through across this great big ocean. Our voices have traveled beyond these 50 states. And when I look at that like I have a certain responsibility now. Even though Mike and I are not on the plateau, like we're famous and shit like that, like we'll get spotted some places. You know what I'm saying? Like some places that we go. Now, I don't want to give that personal information out, but everybody knows where I'm frequently at. If I'm out, you know where, okay, Fred, why he may be there, Fred, why I may be there. And a lot of times I may get spotted. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, hey, aren't you that guy that's on YouTube? And I'm like, yeah, and that shit feels good. And not only does that make me like try to change what's going on in my life, because it feeds off into other people, but I look at it as now that Mike and I are becoming maybe a role model for somebody else, and I don't want people stepping in the same footsteps that I had to step in to get to where I'm trying to go. You know, I've been in a lot of bullshit. I had to deal with a lot of shit to get to this point. I had to put up with a lot of BS, man. A lot of no's, and yeah, that's another story in its entirety. But I've had to put up with a lot of roadblocks. And I mean that's just the way it is. But these two guys, man, I will hope that I could reach out to one of them and say, man, thanks, man, for changing the way that I see things in life. Because without these two guys, without Roland Martin, without them two, I would not see things the way that I see things now. Now there has been a couple of people that has gotten Mike and I to the situation that we are in now with doing the game show upcoming with almost 500 our 500th episode total of episodes that we did for the game show, and within what 3-4 years or something like that. Hard work doing that, and we had a lot of people that played a part in getting us to that point. A lot of supporters that we have to thank, and that again is in another show within itself. Yeah, that's about it. But Roland Martin, D.L. Hughley was never a big fan of D.L. Hughley when he was on a comedian mainstream, when he was really out there doing the comedy stuff. But his actions out of his job, out of the role that he's known for, that's what made me look at this cat in another light and say, hey, look, D.L. Hughley, he's about his shit. He actually cares. He actually fucking cares. He doesn't have to. Them two guys, I would give a pass. You know what I'm saying? As far as they don't have to come out to the community and hand out turkeys and hand out shoes and buy people cars. They are going out and they're talking about the injustice of what's happening to young America, young black America. That's what they're doing. Nobody else is doing that. Lil Wayne, look at this dumbass. Let me tell you something. Lil Wayne is a fucking jerk. Lil Wayne is an asshole. Lil Wayne is a bitch in my book. You know why? Because this nigga, he's talking about he doesn't know what racism is and all this other shit because he grew up in Louisiana. What the fuck you mean you don't know what racism is and you grew up in Louisiana? You got a song called The Block is Hot, The Block is Hot. Why the block is fucking hot, dude? Because the police on it? Because you slinging shit? Come on, Slim, and you don't know nothing about racism? And you grew up in Louisiana? Get the fuck out of here, man. You sound stupid, man. You sound stupid. And what the fuck do? He's a role model because he pop mollies and he do like cough syrup and shit like that. That's dangerous to your fucking health. That's just that's dangerous to your fucking health, man. Popping mollies and popping doing scissor and all that other shit, codeine and shit like that. And motherfuckers look up to these people. People look up to Future as a role fucking model. You want to be like Future? You want to do codeine and all that other shit? Alright. I think I got interrupted a little bit. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. The show, I don't know what happened. But, yeah, I was talking about Lil Wayne and shit and Future. These are fucking role models? These are your fucking role models. Niggas that do drugs. Now, it's me, I'll go on the record right now and saying there's nothing wrong with doing weed. There's nothing wrong with weed, man. Weed is not a fucking drug. Weed, you don't have to put chemicals and all that other shit. You grow that shit, you cut it, then you roll it up and you smoke it. It's not a fucking drug. You know what weed does to people? Weed gets people fat. That's what weed do to people. Weed gets people pregnant. That's what weed does. You get pregnant, you either get horny, you get sleepy, or you get the fucking munchies. That's what you do. That's not no fucking side effect. We don't have you out at 3 o'clock in the morning selling your mother VCR. We don't have you on a corner selling your ass for another fucking blunt. We don't do that unless you lace that shit with something, like with some coke or something. We don't have you doing no shit like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that. Crack will fuck you up. That new drug, crystal meth, and all that other shit, them joints will fuck you up. Them joints will rot your teeth. You know, although weed will black your lips, they make your lips black as a motherfucker. But weed chills you the fuck out. Why do you think there is a movement all around this state, this city, this country, of them trying to legalize marijuana? You know why they have not legalized marijuana? Because the state does not know how to make a profit off of it yet. Because anybody can grow it. Anybody can grow it. So you're cutting out the middleman. You know what I'm saying? If you have the right materials, you can grow your own fucking weed. You know what I'm saying? And if you live in DC, you can smoke your weed. And if you live in any state that allow the use of marijuana or weed or whatever you want to call it, then you can smoke it. We don't have you out in the street fucking up things, man. We don't. So like even Snoop Dogg, you know what I'm saying? I don't look at Snoop Dogg as a role model, because not just because he smokes weed. That's not nothing to me, because of what he raps. What if Snoop changed his ways and stopped calling women bitches and hoes and did some shit to uplift the community? I mean, Snoop does shit where you know, he does like a football team or something, but he does give back. But musically, he still talks about the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So if you're going to be a role model, switch all that shit around. And then rap, you got to look at rap too. And I have to understand this, since I'm also in the music game. A lot of that shit is fiction. A lot of that shit that they talk about would be like, will put these niggas in jail. But you know, these young cats, a lot of shit that they talk about, they done did that shit. That's why they locked up. What's the dude? About a week ago, Bobby Smurnin or whatever the fuck. That nigga, he was talking some real shit, and the shit that he was talking about, he did, and that's why he locked the fuck up. So he's not a role model. He's a role model for a person that you want to spit shit on wax and tell the truth, and then like police, FBI, these motherfuckers, they listening to that shit. They listening to that. And they listened to it. They saw that it was true, and they was like, "Okay, we got you. We got everything that you said on this record is what we are going to use against you." So that's why he fucked up. But I'm talking about weed and shit. That's for another show. But I would like this part to swivel, but it doesn't. I'm talking about this mic stand. But yeah, that's what we were talking about today, was role models. Who's your role model? Put it in the comment, man. Let me know who's your role model. Who do you look up to? Him, her, or them? Who do you look up to as a person that you say, "Oh man, I want to be just like that"? Now, I'm not talking about your parents. I'm not talking about somebody in your family. I'm talking about somebody outside of your family. Who do you look up to? And it could be anybody. It could be Beyonce. It could be Jay-Z. It could be Lil Wayne. I mean, I don't agree with that shit, but that could be something that you strive that you want to be one day, or you want to. And you know, in full disclosure, and in all honesty, I don't follow these cats. You know, I think that they make some great music. Jay-Z, Lil Wayne, and Beyonce. I think they make some fantastic music. I'm not taking nothing away from that. But I just don't look at them as like role models. You know what I'm saying? Like Jay-Z, would I want to follow in his footsteps? Financially wise, yeah, sure, but I still don't look at him like I want to be like that dude. I mean, he's making moves, and he's making moves for his family, But let's see where that goes at. You know what I'm saying? Because that was the Bobby and Whitney of my day. Let's see where that goes a couple of years from now. Because Bobby and Whitney, they was on top. They was royalty. You know what I'm saying? And look at the shit now. Look at years later now. So that's why I say I look at shit differently now. I don't look at shit like what's happening right now. I'm looking at something that will happen tomorrow. So, like Beyonce and Jay-Z are not my role models. They are not what I'm going to say, okay, I want to be like. If anybody was a role model for me, would be, like marriage-wise, would be Will Smith and Jada Pinkett. That would be something I would say I want to mimic my marriage, my stability off of them. And then, I wouldn't say them. You know, I would say either my mother or my grandmother. And my grandmother and my grandfather, they stayed together for years. Oh my God. There was a show that I was trying to get on the air, and I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But these are other topics that was going to be on that show. But I don't want to take away from that because that's not the topic of this. But those would be my role models marriage-wise. Financial, it still would. I like what Jay-Z's doing, but he's still not my role model. At this point in my life, I was always looking at the picture where I wanted to be rich. I wanted to have everything. I wanted to be able to go inside the car dealership and say, boom, give me that, give me that, give me that, give me that bike, give me that bike, give me that bike. I want the mansion, 45 rooms and shit, and 600 toilets and bathrooms and all this other shit. That's where I was. That was my goal. You know what I'm saying? But I look at it at the end of the day. If I just have enough to support my child, so when I leave this earth, she don't have to struggle. I can pass something off to her and say, look, this belongs to you. This kingdom or this business belongs to you. So you don't have to worry about struggles. And then you can pass it on to your child when you leave this earth. That, and that. If I can do that, if I can be financially set where, you know, I don't have to worry about anything. I don't have to worry about if the lights are going to get cut off next week, or if there's going to be enough food in the refrigerator to feed everybody in the house. If I don't have to worry about that, if I can have a house, a family house built, and say, okay, this belongs to the Young family, this belongs to the Cook family, this belongs to the Morgan family, this belongs to the Davis family, this house belongs to everybody, so everybody can come in. You know, it'll be in Florida, mind you. You can come in and say, okay, well, look, I can come out here, vacay. If I'm going through some time, I can stay in one of the rooms until, you know, I get whatever. Just a big family house that's controlled by everybody in the family. If I can get that, then I'm good. I don't need to be no fucking billionaire. Though it would be nice. These two guys have changed my perception on what my end of the day goal would be. Just to be able to support my family, to be able to give my daughter an inheritance that will future-proof her and her kids and her kids and her kids and her kids. What's up, Mike? Just in order to do that, that would suit me. These two guys are tremendous in what they have done to change my perception. If I could name off everybody on a list that made me change the way that I think, it would be a pretty long list, I would say. I can say that these two guys, D.L. Hughley and Roland Martin, has changed my overall perception on how I view things in life. Eric Glover, he has changed my perception of how I view police, the police force, or policemen, not the police force, because there are still crooked cops and shit out there. There are still cops that do fucked up things. But he has changed my perception to not thinking that every cop changes or thinks the same way. You know what I'm saying? So I would say that these three guys are instrumental in what my perception of life is now. And I think that's about it, man. I may do some streaming tonight. I'm not sure, but I got some things going on, y'all. The Gamer Show has some things going on. We're giving away Splatoon 2 on the Nintendo Switch. We're doing that Saturday night. It's a $1 lottery. Now, you can buy your lottery ticket. You can buy one lottery ticket for $1, or you can buy 3 lottery tickets for $2. So, and then we will announce the winner of the Nintendo Switch Splatoon video game. We will announce that winner live on the Facebook Live channel. So when we go live, we're going live at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At 9 o'clock, we will then announce the winner of the contest. And not only will there be one winner, of the lottery, and not only will there be one winner, there will be 2 winners of this. And it only costs you either $1 or $2. And you can buy as many tickets as you want. And we will be announcing a winner that night. So we hope you all participate. And we also got a Madden tournament that's coming up where you can win Madden 2018 either on PlayStation 4 or Xbox One. So that's still the deadline for that tournament is the end of this month. So everybody has to already register to do so. And once we have enough people registered, then we will begin a tournament. Mind you, there are only a couple of available slots filled to be filled. So we don't have a lot of slots for that. We need to go ahead and get that done so we can get this Madden tournament started. And there is there's a catch to that too. The winner of the Xbox and the PlayStation side, when we do our tournament next year, you don't have to pay to get into the tournament. The winner of next year's tournament, they will have to play you in order to be the winner. And if you win every year, you could win for 10 years or whatever. And if you win every year, you would never have to pay for another Madden again. Because after that first entry, you don't have to pay for no more Madden contests. So that's what we're doing. We have a raffle where we're giving away an Xbox One. We still haven't had anybody to participate in that. And we also have a raffle where we're giving away an Apple TV, an iPad Pro, a couple of video games, a Chromecast, and nobody has did anything with that too. We will be cutting that short, so we have to the it's upcoming real soon. real soon, where we're going to be announcing the winner for that. So you guys hurry up, get your tickets, participate, and let's get this out. Also, if you don't want to participate in none of these other raffles and lotteries, man, we have a blanket and food drive that we do every year. Every year, man, we get clothes. If you want to donate clothes, if you want to donate gift cards, if you want to donate money, all of that stuff goes to people that's living on the street. And you know what? Probably to sometime next week, I'm going to do a live broadcast of that to try to get some money raised for that. But we go out and we give clothes to the homeless, we give food to the homeless, and we do that on Thanksgiving, and we do it on Christmas. So me personally, I don't celebrate Christmas and I don't celebrate Thanksgiving anymore. My time is spent out there with the homeless people. So Christmas comes, I'm not over anybody's house, under the mistletoe or nothing like that. Thanksgiving come, I'm out there in the street until I run out of stuff to give out, and then I'll come home and I get something to eat. The same thing with Christmas. You know what I'm saying? I'm not with the rush downstairs and open up gifts. I'd rather be out there with the homeless giving out things like that. So that episode I'm going to do in a couple of weeks. Next week after I finish this Splatoon thing and everything. But you guys, I appreciate you all coming in, watching the stream, and please jot down who is your role model. I would love to see who your role model would be, with everybody that I know, with everybody I send out this invite to. I would love to see who your role model is, man. That's going to do it for me. Again, I appreciate you all watching the live show and the rebroadcast of the Gaming Show live stream. Y'all take care, and I will see y'all later on. But I may stream a little bit after this. I don't know. I gotta pick up Splatoon tonight, so it's depending on how I feel when I get back in the house. I don't know. But thank you all for joining, watching. God bless, and I'll see y'all next time.